Hi, this is Paul Hamilton. I've got a brand new fuel-injected Revo here that I'm going to show you its features. I've done a number of other videos on Revos, how to choose. I've done a specific one on this other one that's for sale. So I'm not going to go over super detail. You can watch the other videos on aviationtrikesforsale.com. But here we're going to wheel this thing out into the sun where you can get a really good view and show you some of the features of this brand new fuel injected Revo that's ready to go. Okay, so first off, we're just going to walk around it here so you can get a nice view of the outside of it. Brand new Mylar topless sail. First off, we'll look, what we've got here is the fuel injected engine, all computer controlled. We've got our engine cover here to keep this all nice and clean here. A beautiful installation. And of course we've got the Sensenich two-blade prop on there. Another thing you'll notice, of course, we've got the strobes and position lights on here. And here's our roll trim. Let's go ahead and actuate that. Turn that on. We're going to go ahead and, as you can see how that moves that way. Roll trim. Incredibly effective while flying. Or that way. This is great to be able to trim out any turns left or right for the different speeds. Climb rates, engine powers, everything like that. Super feature. And of course we've got the BRS system on here. We can also see we've got our landing lights on here. And also here you can see our large windshield here that for anybody sitting in the back or in the front, completely protected from the wind. Very nice feature. And this also has the new hang block on here. And what this does, it has your down tubes attached higher here. This gives you a much better leverage and susceptibility to wind gusts. Brand new feature on this 2015 model. One of the things I did on this one also here is rig this up so the parachute comes out and you actually end up hanging from right here, so we don't have all this other paraphernalia that goes up and over and around. That way, if in a situation where you did have to use your ballistic parachute, if you did lose your wing and you did have to use your ballistic parachute, you'd be hanging right from here and you'd be in better shape. And let's take a closer look here at this engine prop. Beautiful installation here. And of course this trike does have the option of the Instructor package where you've got our pegs here where the person in the back can do the ground steering. We've got the throttle in the back here, and we've also got the wing controls right here. So the person in the back here has complete control of everything except for the brake on the ground. And of course there's a nice kill switch over here that can take care of that situation if so need. So let's look at the instrument panel here. Now the way I've got this laid out is so I can fit a full iPad or a mini iPad. Either one of those could go there. However you want. So we have plenty of room over here for that. And I left a spot over here for a phone to be mounted. And from the phone, we can go right into our input jack here, where you can play your music. If you want to have audio for video or whatever, that comes out of here. Let's go ahead and look at our panel here. Our panel is pretty darn nice. Okay, we notice we've got, of course, like all your glass panels, you've got your altitude, airspeed, magnetic true, compass. We've got all of our engine instruments down here. We can page through with our different screens. Here, this is a great screen for flying cross country, and you can actually change that mode to vector if you want it, depending upon what you like. We're going to go back to, I particularly like this raster view where we can actually see the sectional on here. It's showing you exactly where you are, what you're doing. Zoom out. Zoom in. Pretty nice. And we'll kind of page through the screens here. Of course, you always got your engine instruments down here. This is integrated with your radio. It selects that frequency automatically for you on your radio. Really a nice feature overall. So, beautiful instrument panel, I really like it. And of course we can see our panel on, avionics, landing lights, nav lights, strobes. We've got our two different lane switches, A and B, our two different fuel pumps. And on our comm system we've got our push to talk here, pilot 1, pilot 2 push to talk. Here's a separate push to talk if you didn't want to use this one right here. And here is your trim. Here's your speed trim. If you want to go slow, you want to go fast. We've got our right and left for our roll controls, which I showed you a little bit there. And then, of course, here's all of our breakers for our panels. So, there's our panel. A nice setup here, flexible. And here's the radio. I've got a spot here for the transponder, if you want to install that. And a nice system here for flexibility and expansion. Well, there we go. There's the highlights of this particular fuel-injected Revo, ready to go. I've got all kinds of videos and descriptions on the Revos at Aviation Trikes for Sale, so make sure you look at that. And here we've just looked at the highlights of this particular one for sale, ready to go to possibly you. Give me a call.